She plays Ruthless Queen V on Orange is the New Black. I'm joined today by Lorraine Toussaint. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I should say Yvonne V. Parker.
That's
because
correct.
I'm very happy that there's finally a character out there that shares my name.
That's right.
So it
That's
felt
right.
good.
Should I call you V?
Yes, call me V.
That's really scary.
I'll try not to be as menacing. I'll save that for when the cameras are off.
Okay.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So you were introduced in season 2 of Orange is the New Black. Tell me what you knew about the show before joining it.
I didn't know anything about the show, really. I
live under a rock.
I do live under a rock, which means I'm a mom.
Yeah.
Of a child under 10. Well, she's 10 now. So, you know, I TiVo a lot of things that I never actually get to. I'm a single mom. So, you know, I work and then I take care of my child and then I pass out and with a lot of back shows on my TiVo. So, but I'd seen all the lovely buses going by and there was certainly a lot of hype about it. You know, I had a sense there was a phenomenon happening. There was a thing happening with prison and women. But when I got the call that they were looking to create a new character, I didn't even have a script. I just had a couple of pages that turned out to be just a suggestion of her character.
What was, do you remember what it said?
I do. It was the scene where I was talking to the young Tasty.
Okay.
And
so she wasn't quite as bad then.
No, and that scene alone in isolation certainly doesn't suggest any of the things that she eventually ended up doing. And so just based on that scene, I thought, oh, she's complex. You know, she's maternal and complex and she'll be kind of interesting to play, but it wasn't until the first day of shooting, maybe a half an hour before the cameras rolled, that Genji Cohen, God love her, said to me, oh, and by the way,
Genji,
she's psychotic. I said, excuse me? Oh, yes, she is certifiable. She is a classic psychotic. And I remember walking back from the soundstage back to my dressing room going, let me Google what that really means. And I started there. And just to get through that first day, I sort of altered my perspective slightly.
Do you think you would have considered the role had you known that ahead of time?
You know, if I'd known half of what V eventually ended up doing, I probably would have thought that I couldn't do it. I would have thought that I couldn't spiritually, psychologically, karmically. I wouldn't want to have seen that going in. I would have been scared. It was actually a blessing that I didn't know where I was heading. Until I was there and went, oh, well, let's take a little more, I'll go a little further. I'll go a little bit further. Oh, well, you've done so far already. Go a little further. Oh, well, what the hell? Just go all the way. So
and
was
that's
helpful.
And your first day on set was also your first time meeting Genji, right?
Yes.
Talk about that. I mean, were you sort of just flying by the seat of your pants going into this, like not knowing too much? And what was that like?
I'm used to flying by the seat of my pants. I mean, every time I start a new project, it's brand new people, brand new circumstances, a brand new character that oftentimes I start just somewhat sketched in. I'm working on a film now that I start principal shooting on Monday, and there's this sort of vague sense of this new being that I'm incubating, kind of throbbing right back there, but not fully formed yet until I'm standing there and I'm dressed and I'm looking at the other actors. So that wasn't the weird part about it. The weird part was the complexity of her character. How was I actually going to mold that and shape that in a believable way?
And what sort of direction did Genji give you? Was she constantly telling you to play her meaner or play her more menacing?
Genji then went away.
Yeah.
Genji then got on a plane and flew away and left me all alone to do this. But she didn't actually leave me alone. She sent me words. She sent me beautiful, interesting words, and oftentimes neutral words that were neutral enough for me to embody. You know, there are a couple of very simple qualities that I tapped into right away and thought, oh, this could be interesting. This could be fun. What happens if you have a character that has no conscience, that has, that doesn't regret, that doesn't have a sense of traditional cause and effect, and that emotional connection to what. Once I started exploring that idea, I found that lent itself to an extraordinary amount of freedom, creative freedom.
Did you feel powerful getting to play someone like this? Yeah.
But powerful in a way that, not V powerful, because V is addicted to power in a particular way. I felt powerful because I didn't have to play by the rules of my own creative process. I could create an entire new process in playing her, which as an actor is interesting. It's interesting to challenge myself in ways that you don't really see, but you get the result.
How about, what was it like sort of stepping foot onto the Litchfield set? Because I don't know if you know, but I've also escaped.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was an inmate too.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Do they know you're here?
No, they don't know I'm here. Don't tell anyone.
Oh, girl, down low. I will not say a word.
I got into that pipe dream too, but tell me, tell me, setting foot on that set, like, did it feel like you were trapped? Did you feel that sense of, I'm in a prison, I feel like the walls are closing in on me? Some of the girls have said that, but I don't know if because there's crew around, it didn't feel so.
You know, I'm not that girl. I operated on different other feelings that had to do more with, I can't pretend I'm trapped. That wasn't what was interesting to me. That wasn't interesting. V accepts that she's there. I'm there. I'm just there. And this is my new reality. And I don't have to pretend that this reality is any other than what it is. That was the wonderful thing about V. She's so adaptive that I was just there. And while I'm there, it was about creating home. There were certain things about, some of it is just even hard to talk about. Once I'd put on that uniform, the uniform did something to me more than anything else. The boots. Oh, God, those boots. The boots were really confining. They are very, very, very heavy. And there's something about shoes. You know, often actors will say the character is in the shoes. That's real. That's very true. The boots were an integral part of it. The fact that there was no hair and makeup was glorious. You know, if you partied the night before, which I don't, like I said, I'm boring. But if I didn't get any sleep, or if I traveled, if you've got circles under your eyes, you've got a zit, you know.
It's all okay.
You know, you didn't quite pluck, you know, whatever. It was all good. You just kind of showed up. That was fun.
How about, did you play this very sort of menacing character? How were you when the cameras weren't rolling? Like, did you feel like you had to stay like that offset, or did you sort of lighten up with the girls?
I love those girls.
Yeah.
I love them, really love them. Did I say I love them? I really, really love you, Uso. I love you, Danielle and Adrian. So no, we were in love. And the difficult, the cafeteria scenes, it was like a free for all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like herding kittens half the time. And because V is such an internal being, she's predatorial. So there's always this being watching. She's a voyeur. So I could just be a voyeur when needed without necessarily giving away that I was, so I know that V was hard to shake because she was hard to shake. After a while, cumulatively, she was hard to get out. I did body work and acupuncture and massages to just mostly get her out of my body because she's such a I can't use the curse words that really a mind cluck, a mind clucker.
We like when you self-censor, yeah.
She's a mind clucker. So being in that kind of head kind of screws up. You kind of start mind plucking your own head. And so it was about, I'm an avid meditator. And so there were ways to just to wash her out of my system.
Well, you mentioned the cafeteria scenes. I mean, what sort of shenanigans goes on a set like this with all these funny, hilarious ladies?
God, funny, hilarious, and incredibly talented. I mean, everybody all the time was bringing their A game. So, you showed up just kind of ready for whatever showed up that day. And I know for me, it got to a point where it would be, I remember some scenes in the cafeteria where how spontaneous could we be? How present could we be? How much could we shock each other in many ways? My character was certainly a shock junkie. But it was just fun. It was fun to be in the sand with those girls because it was a playground.
Did you ever have like moments where, you just sort of took it all in? Like, wow, I can't believe I'm on a show like this that has these sorts of parts for females. Like, I never thought I would be on something like this, or?
No, because when I work in a vacuum. I really put blinders on, and I wasn't privy to orange fever while I was doing it.
Yeah.
So I came in a bit of an orange virgin, as it were.
Yes.
And so I just kind of hunkered down and got to work and was really working. It wasn't until the season dropped that I got this incredible sense of, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. Yipes.
Yeah.
It was people love the show.
They do.
Isn't that marvelous?
Well, what was the reaction when you even told people you're going to be on the show?
That's when I started getting a clue. I'd go, I'm doing this little show in New York called Oranges. They go, you're doing it. And they'd start foaming at the mouth. And people like my dentist, my gynecologist, my in odd moments, they'd go, so
odd moments,
what's
I
the
can only
next
imagine.
season going to be about? I go, excuse me, doc. I can't tell you. I don't know. I can't tell you. So people were insane. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I have a big secret. Yeah.
How about the show incorporates flashbacks a lot, which a lot of people love, getting to know what brought these women here. And we get V's backstory and we see how she comes to know Tasty. But we don't know sort of what led to V becoming a drug dealer and what sort of spawned all this. Did the writers give you any sort of direction? Did you have to, for your own, taking on this role, did you create your own backstory to sort of understand what got her there?
I did. Sure, of course, I did. But it was one of the few characters, if not the only character thus far, that is non-redemptive to the audience.
Yes.
All of these characters are like onions. There's so many layers and layers, but at some point in the flashbacks, you see that layer that explains them, that allows you to be compassionate because oh, there's a reason why. Oh my gosh. And that's the power of the show, because there but for the grace of God go I. That one choice, that one decision, that one incident that affects us and takes us down that road that they end up where they are. And it's really gratifying to an audience to chart that with the character. It helps you love them even more deeply ultimately. But with thee,
I thought I missed it. I rewatched it because I'm like,
you missed it. It was a very subtle, tiny, teeny tiny moment. And if you blinked, you missed it. No, there was no real. And here's the thing: that onion to V, you're used to peeling it back, and at a certain point, you get to the meat of it. It's more deeply buried in her. You'd have to keep peeling a bit longer. You'd have to keep peeling to find that.
Do you think there were moments, obviously that weren't captured, but like, do you think V is someone that maybe on occasion cried in her bed?
Oh, that's so sweet.
I just wonder, do you think she's ever had those moments where she sort of broke down to herself, facing the wall or something? It's hard because it's V. We don't know if there's tears in there.
She's better at making other people cry and turn to the wall. Does that count?
It might count.
I think let's make that count.
Okay.
That's V's. That's V.
That's
and
V.
She would cry for them. Yeah.
Well, you get to have some very interesting dynamics with a few of the characters.
Yeah.
And I guess we can first talk about this toxic sort of motherly relationship she has with Tasty. And, that sort of parallels what she comes to have with Crazy Eyes, Suzanne. But talk a little bit about her and this, manipulative role she has. And was it hard, like, knowing when she was pretending and when she was being genuine, or did you not concern yourself with that?
Psychotics don't have, generally, and this is a real generalization, aren't connected or wired in the same way that we tend to think of ourselves as being wired, which is consequential, and there are feelings attached to consequences. And so, but what happens if that doesn't even exist, right? So what happens is that they get very good at feigning emotion, mimicking emotions. You learn to survive by mimicking them, because on some level you're supposed to have that, but you don't really. Or what you do have is different. It's different. So I think I don't know if V knows when she's faking or when she's not. And I don't think she thinks in terms of faking or not. There's no such thing as I'm faking it now, and then I'm pretending to, and now I'm not. No, that's the wonderful thing about her. She's not pretending, and she's not faking. And that's the scary part.
It is scary, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wondered if she felt anything while reading Fault in Our Stars. Because I'm like, how did she not cry during that?
Oh, another cry moment.
Another cry moment.
Oh,
I just want to see it.
Yeah,
how about the relationship
she could have shown it to you. She could have shown you. Big, long tears.
Long tears.
Large. Weepy.
Another great dynamic is the twisted relationship with Red.
Not twisted. See, now I'm flipping into V. It wasn't twisted. What was twisted?
How did you view that relationship with?
Loving. She's my friend. She's my friend.
She's my friend.
V and Red, you know, classic fight for dominance. Who is the alpha dog? And in that world, that's a world that supports that kind of endeavor. It's your survival depends on, at least she believes her survival depends on dominance in all the many different ways in which she values dominance.
And I had no idea that you and Kate like go way back.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
It was perfect.
How do you guys know each other?
We knew each other in LA doing theater.
Okay.
Many, many, many years ago. Her husband, sorry, Kate. Her then husband, Robert Egan, was the artistic director, I believe, of the Taper in LA, and we did several shows together. I would have dine at their home, and they'd have dinner parties. So I knew Kate. I knew Kate.
So it was that like intense?
It was great. Yeah. It was great because V and Red have history, and we were, Kate and I were sort of the older of the women there, and we really were. So there were a lot of terrific parallels that I could draw on. Sure.
Well, and a lot of people are still sort of questioning whether V is actually dead. In the season finale, we see her get hit by a van that Rosa is driving.
Yes.
And there's been some like mixed signals here. What can you tell us? Because she didn't look dead. I mean, she certainly was injured.
Yes, she definitely took a hit.
She took a hit.
And took it well.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
Eyes were still open.
Eyes were still open.
You know, eyes wide open. Now listen, according to Genji Cohen, V is dead. Right? According to Lorraine.
I only care about what Lorraine thinks. Tell me what Lorraine thinks.
According to Lorraine, I know V. I don't know how she's dead. I'm a little afraid that she's not dead. I think I can't see her necessarily being dead. I don't feel like V is dead, but maybe I'm the wrong person to ask. We have a very special relationship, she and I. But according to last season, and the third season is going to drop in a minute, so those questions will be answered.
Have you been back on set?
I have been back on set.
That could be flashbacks.
It could be anything.
Are you directing or something?
No. No, for the most part, she's dead. For the most part? Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Come on, I feel you want to tell us.
This show, I have no idea. You have to crawl into the mind of Genji Cohen.
Yeah.
And that's a dangerous place to be because that woman is so incredibly creative. And she has the ability to flip a switch in so many different ways. So I'm going to say yes, but talk to Genji Cohen.
I love that Rosa's reasoning for hitting V was because she was always so rude.
She was always so rude. I mean, I should have killed her sooner. I should have killed that old bald woman. Dropped a little something in her drink.
Is there someone that you wish you had more scenes with or had any scenes with?
Piper, gosh, a lot of, who was the little bad teeth.
Bad teeth.
She got those Taryn is so lovely. There's so many lovely, Taylor and so many lovely actors that, running Ghetto Dorm was really full time. You just can't get out.
Yeah.
But there's so many. What a group of extraordinary women to play with. every time you went out, you walked on that set in any kind of capacity, you remembered, I got to remember why I do what I do in simple ways, in extraordinary ways. I above all, I thank you women for that, because you made me fall in love with acting again.
Well, I mean, we've seen you in so many TV shows and films, and soon after Orange Is the New Black, you were in Selma, and it was like weird, sort of seeing when people would talk about you in the film, it's be like Lorraine Toussaint, best known for Orange Is the New Black. Was that sort of weird to you, or just made sense given that it was out so soon?
It's just made sense. That's the nature of the business. I've been now discovered. This is maybe the third or fourth time in my 30-year career. And it's fine. Maybe I'll be discovered again. Maybe I've got one or two more discoveries in this career.
Right. How about, there was like a lot made about how, oh, this is great, she's over 50 and doing a nude scene. Like, were you kind of like, okay, like it's not that big of a deal? Or what did you make of the reaction?
I don't pay too much attention to reactions, number one. And two, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. I'm not that girl.
Yeah.
You show your tits on TV.
Nobody wants.
You know what I mean? That's how I kind of felt about it. It's like, oh, you really? Genji, really?
Genji, really?
Oh, God.
With the character that was sort of like your surrogate son, it was a little strange.
God.
Yeah.
Well, Lorraine, I'm a mother. I'm a mother.
Yeah.
And all I could think was, I remember calling the producers and going, how old is this child? No, really, how old is this child? You must tell me. He's what? Because he looked like he was 16 or 17. And I just thought, you're going to hell. You're going to hell.
Did it feel like the longest scene to shoot ever, or did it go by pretty quick?
Well, he's 21,
okay.
And that was helpful. Sort of. And then, once you set your mind to it, it's like, okay,
let's just do it.
We're gonna go there. And then, we're on the set and you realize, well, he's gotta go there too. So remember that morning look, I'll show you mine, you show me yours, and we're in this together. And then we just were, the first couple of takes were, we're like sweating bullets, literally, just nervous. But then there's something extraordinary that happens once you take your clothes off on some level. And it's not about vanity. It's not a vanity moment. Let's face it. I'm sleeping with my son. And with great clarity that it really is, I couldn't betray thee by not doing that moment. If I hadn't done it fully, on some level, I felt like I would have betrayed the work that I had done to that point. Believe me, I tried to get out of it every which way. I thought she could do this in her underwear. She could do this in some sort of a costume. Maybe she dresses up. Maybe she's got some
What's Genji like? Just do it.
S&M thing under her clothes all the time. I tried every which way. But every point I got to, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. So the hardest work was getting to the point where Lorraine didn't care. And then there's something wonderful about being on, when you're naked, there's really nothing else to hide. And so it lent itself to yet another level of emotional freedom that was sort of unexpected. And I was proud of myself that I didn't betray her. My fears didn't get in the way of doing of fully realizing
Mm-hmm.
that person. So,
well, and then you went from Orange to going back to the other side of the law. I mean, you've played lawyers before, and now you're playing a police lieutenant on Forever.
Yeah.
Was that quite the jump to do, or?
It was a relief. Oh my God. So many people liked, or at least understood. And some level it was a bit of relief, yeah, because I like her.
Mm-hmm.
I like Captain Reese, Lieutenant Reese. You know, she's large and in charge, and she's the dorm mom
Mm-hmm.
of these crazy kids that are running around her precinct. And so that was very much in my wheelhouse. And so I get to do that and then go do some fun other kinds of indies that I'm doing on the side, which are a little bit to the left, really kind of way to the left. So I get to walk the path and then veer off. It's
and then
nice.
maybe we'll see you in season 3 of Orange is the New Black.
Oh, boy.
Maybe. Well, Lorraine, I want to thank you so much for taking the time today. It was a pleasure talking to you.
It's lovely talking to you. Thank you.
Thanks. And if you want to watch more of our Emmy chats, check out latimes.com. Thanks.